Hey guys, what's up? This is Austin from Realboy. This is my Facebook page. Appreciate if you go check this out, give it a like. I've got some links on here, like the SoundCloud link, bunch of free music, bootlegs, remixes, originals, mixes, stuff like that. Yeah, come check me out. Anyway, uh, uh, so during this tutorial, a lot of people have been asking me about like French house and hip hop sampling and how you can do it in a program like Ableton. So I figured I would show you how to do that in a program like Ableton. The first thing I would do is warp my track. Very important. There are a bunch of tutorials online. You can go look them up. That's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. This track is warped. And this track, a lot of you might recognize it. Fatboy Slim sampled it. Check it. Wait, I forgot to... There you go. Now you can hear Ableton.
Praise you like I should. You're so rare, so fine. Praise you.
Yeah, so that song. So what we're gonna do first is now that it's warped, I'm actually gonna duplicate the channel. I don't know why this stuff is on it. It doesn't need to be on it. And I'm gonna turn this off. In this channel, I'm going to consolidate, or Apple J. You can right click and go to consolidate though if you want to. And so once it consolidates, it basically solidifies all these warp points in the song. So you don't see them anymore, but the audio is in the same place as it was before now. And now that it's like that, a sampler will read it and read it accordingly to make it otherwise it wouldn't have read the warp points. And actually, I think what I'm going to do, this probably isn't good to do this, like be reconsolidating so many times, changing tempo and stuff on it. But I'm going to reconsolidate it on 115. So now the sampler will read them as samples that were played at 115. So the first thing I'm going to do is I usually measure out 32 bars. I take this Apple E to cut both sides. Right click, slice a new MIDI track. I keep it at a quarter note. Now we have 128 notes we can play 32 bars. And built in, I go slice to single sampler. I don't know why I do that. That's not really a huge reason. I just delete this. You don't really need it. So the first thing I do is take the voices down to 1. So now all the samples will cut each other off if you play more than one at a time. So it's kind of choppy, cool sounding. So if you want to get into that, and I programmed this really quickly, like a minute ago. This is just some percussion here. I'll show you how it sounds. So pretty simple, nothing special. So now I'm going to make a MIDI clip. And you do that just by Apple Shift M, and you get a MIDI clip of random color that's already set to loop. So we'll just drag that across for now. And what I usually do when so now we're playing with these samples. You can click these headphones and so from the very bottom to the very top. And so what I usually do is I just start, somewhere. I find somewhere I like a... usually try, okay, so when you're playing with samples in a sampler, it's most of the time easier to if you just focus on the bass line and the percussion, what's happening in the percussion, and just try to make those two sound as great as you can, everything else will kind of fall into place. So that's all I'm really listening for here, and we'll see how I write just like a 2-bar line, and then we can duplicate it and then add variation throughout, change up the percussion to it. And I'm only going to do 9 bars here. I'm not going to write a whole song, but I think it'll give you a pretty good idea of how you can write a whole song, just using samples. And these are all drum samples I used. So I'm going to try to find one that first off starts with what sounds like the root of the song. Okay, I like that. That's good starting. So now, as we just listened to the bass, what should the next note be? Oh, whoops.
Part of, part of, part of me left. Part of me that
Hmm.
part of me left, left, part of left. That love ain't part of me. Ain't part of me. Ain't part of me. Ain't part of me.
Okay, that sounds pretty cool to me. So now that you've got that in there, and the whole time I wasn't listening to anything, I wasn't going for those vocal snippets. They just had the bass line that I wanted, or the guitar part I wanted. All the vocal chopping, cool stuff sounding, that'll all just fall into place. Don't worry about it. So now I'm gonna put a side chain on this sampler right here, and I'm gonna side chain it to the kick, and I usually use a gate when I'm side chaining. I feel like it's snappier. It's more responsive. It's more finely tunable, things like that. So
Part of me ain't part of me ain't
so that sounds pretty good.
part of me ain't part of me ain't part of me ain't part of me ain't.
Now at this point, this part sounds good. At this point, just add one thing on top to kind of keep it going, and once you add one thing out, or once you add one thing for this section, make another section that's just like it, and then just take something out. Just kind of put some variation throughout the whole thing. Like we'll see if we can come up with here. Make a MIDI track, drag an operator onto here. Man, I said I wasn't going too far in the song. What am I doing? Can't help it. So it's Apple Shift M to make this. And let's see, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make a little like funky saw right here really quick. That should be good. I'll give you some of that and a little bit of that. Just a little bit. And did I make you saw? Yes, I did. Instead of doing a saw, I think I'm going to start with a sine and oops. We'll see how that sounds.
Part of me ain't part of part of me 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 ain't part of me ain't
So something simple like that, is easy to just repeat along, not all the time, but and maybe we'll So yeah, there's your simple production right there. It's pretty easy. I just did it with a sampler and some couple percussion tracks.
Part of me. Part of me.
Then you can Apple J this looped part and change some parts if you want to, like the end of this.
Part of me. Part of me. Part of me. You into it. Into it. Left. Part of left. Part of me. Left over.
I don't know, just do your thing, repeat your stuff. Then in here, keep changing stuff up, keep doing your thing. You can add new instruments. You can you can even duplicate this sampler, high pass it, turn it down a little bit, and then start sampling other things. Delete this part right here, and you can even do something like create a MIDI clip. And I'm gonna go somewhere else, like in the C6 region.
Part of me. Part of me.
Something like that, simple, good.
Part of me. Part of me. Part of me.
You get the idea. So yeah, that concludes this tutorial. Any ideas? Let me know. Have a good one.